historic marital blunders. Psychology behind love's greatest failures. Ever wonder how some of the greatest love stories in history turned into the biggest disasters? Was it bad timing or bad psychology? What if passion wasn't enough? What if love, without emotional intelligence, was doomed from the start? Today, we're unpacking historic marital blunders. But not just for the drama. We're digging into the psychology behind why they failed, and what lessons your relationship can steal to avoid the same fate. Welcome back to Mind Flow Balance, where ancient wisdom collides with modern sanity. I'm your host, and today, we're not gossiping, we're investigating. Why do people fall in love with the wrong person at the worst possible time? Is love really enough to save a broken bond? Can history predict the future of modern relationships? Let's find out. Marital blunders, breakdowns, and what could have saved them. 1. Cleopatra and Mark Antony, Egypt and Rome, 41 to 30 BCE. Love versus self-destruction. Psychology behind it. Emotional dependency. Cleopatra 7th. And Mark Antony built a relationship not on trust, but on escapism. Could they have survived without the thrill of constant conflict and conquest? Addiction to drama. Psychologists today would call this a trauma bond. Were they addicted to love, or just addicted to chaos? Lesson: passion isn't a substitute for emotional maturity. Think about it. Are you drawn to people who stabilize you, or people who excite you? What could they have done instead? Instead of chasing the next high, they could have created emotional safety. Slowing down, setting clear boundaries, focusing on healing individual insecurities before binding their futures together. But they didn't. They chose adrenaline over attachment. Now ask yourself, are you chasing excitement or building peace? 2. Napoleon and Josephine, France 1796 to 1809. Obsession, insecurity, and power imbalance. Psychology behind it. Attachment, anxiety. Napoleon, Emperor of France, was wildly successful but internally fragile. Could success ever silence insecurity? Spoiler, no. Mismatched life. Goals. Josephine didn't want to rule an empire. She wanted peace. Napoleon wanted to conquer the world. Can love survive if your visions for life don't even overlap? Lesson: love without aligned goals is a ticking bomb. Pause for a second. Are you building a life together, or just orbiting each other? What could they have done differently? Napoleon could have respected Josephine's needs for a simpler, private life. They could have negotiated a shared vision rather than forcing loyalty onto incompatible dreams. Instead, they bulldozed through differences, and it cost them both. In your relationship, are you compromising? Or just coexisting? 3. Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, England 1533 to 1536. Narcissism, idealization, and devaluation psychology. Behind it. Narcissistic idealization. Henry VIII was willing to change the entire church for Anne, but once she failed to give him a son, admiration curdled into contempt. Why do some people love you only until you stop fulfilling their fantasy? Transactional love. Was it ever about Anne, or just about power, legacy, and male heirs? Lesson: be wary of partners who put you on a pedestal. They often push you off it. Quick gut check. Does your partner love you? Or the idea of you? What could they have done instead? They could have built a relationship on realistic expectations and mutual respect, not impossible ideals. But instead, Anne was idolized and discarded, treated as a means to an end. So ask yourself, is your relationship based on who you are, or who they want you to be? 4. Princess Diana and Prince Charles, United Kingdom 1981 to 1996. The weight of unmet needs, psychology behind it. Emotional neglect. Diana needed real connection. Charles wanted tradition. Can a relationship survive when emotional needs are invisible? Or worse, dismissed? Attachment styles clash. Diana's anxious attachment crashed headlong into Charles's avoidant style. Is it any surprise they collided instead of connected? Lesson: attachment styles matter a lot. Time to get honest. Are you chasing someone emotionally unavailable and calling it love? What could they have done instead? They could have communicated their emotional needs openly and sought help early. Therapy, counseling, real conversations about what they both truly wanted beyond public duty. But they didn't. They played their roles until it broke them both. In your world, are you speaking your needs or suppressing them for the sake of appearances? History isn't just dead facts. It's a mirror reflecting our deepest patterns. But here's the million-dollar question. If love failed these powerhouses, what makes you think you're immune if you repeat the same mistakes? Critical questions for viewers. Are you confusing intensity for intimacy? Are you in love with a person or the potential of who they could be? Are you ignoring red flags because the highs feel too good to walk away from? Are your life goals aligned or just running parallel until they crash? Comment below. Which historical couple hits closest to your experience or someone you know? If you're into unpacking the psychological skeletons hiding in history, smash subscribe and join the Mind Flow Balance fam. We dive deeper than the relationship hacks other channels are serving. Final thoughts. Relationships aren't built on love alone. They're built on self-awareness, emotional regulation, and the boring but critical work most people avoid. The marriages we just talked about didn't fail because love was absent. They failed because emotional intelligence was. So ask yourself, are you building love on fantasy or foundation? Would your relationship survive if the drama disappeared tomorrow? Because love without awareness isn't destiny, it's disaster with a time delay. Closing call to action. Smash that like button if you want more psychological deep dives. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We're dropping weekly content that'll make you rethink everything you thought you knew about relationships. And share this video with that one friend who still thinks love conquers all. Because spoiler, it doesn't. Without work. Which psychological trap from today's video do you think most modern couples are still falling into? Until next time, stay balanced, stay mindful. Mind Flow. Balance, psychology of love, historic mistakes, attachment styles, relationship advice.